Imagine sitting with your hands grasped up around your steering wheel, looking through a shattered windshield, hoping that what just happened wasn't reality. As you sit there, you're just hoping and praying that the driver that you just hit gets out of their vehicle and that you don't have to walk over there to check to see if they're still alive. All of this happened because you were texting and driving. Hello, my name is Dalton Schnorr, and I am here to talk to you about a rising epidemic that we have here in the United States. This epidemic claims the lives of thousands of people every year. The epidemic is texting and driving. The problem is more of a recent problem, yet it is a very fast-growing problem. Obviously, as more people own cell phones each year, the more chance that drivers will become distracted by their phones. I have here a diagram that I'm going to try to show you, just proving this topic. This diagram, this chart, shows that in 2000 to 2014, the different percentage of American adults who owned a cell phone. In 2000, roughly 53% or around 50% or 53% of American adults owned a cell phone, and in 2014, over 90% of American adults now own a cell phone. That number just continues to rise until this day. According 20 years ago, texting and driving wasn't the issue that it is today. People were more concerned with drinking and driving over texting and driving, but now, since with the rising number of people that own a cell phone, texting and driving has become more serious than drinking and driving. According to an article, Trends in Fatalities from Distracted Driving in the United States from 1999 to 2008, written by Fernandon A. Wilson and Jim P. Stimpson, distracting driving fatalities actually increased 28% after 2005, rising from 4,572 fatalities to 5,870 fatalities in 2008. Their conclusion stated, specifically, the dramatic rise in texting volume since 2005 appeared to be contributing to an alarming rise in the distracted driving fatalities. This is an obvious problem that we have in our society, and even though if you are not the one texting and driving, when other people text and drive around you, it may affect you. A prime example of this is a situation that happened to my uncle. My uncle is a very responsible driver, and he owns his own business in Iowa. One day, as he was driving a one-ton truck and hauling a bobcat on a trailer, a distracted driver, a young 17-year-old female, pulled out directly in front of him. She never knew what hit her, and she was dead on impact. She was texting and driving. Just think of what the consequences that my uncle had to live with. This young girl was the daughter of one of his best friends in high school. He knew their family. He was about to attend her graduation in just a few short months, and his life will forever be changed because she was not responsible when she was driving. This is a very tragic example of how serious of an issue texting and driving is. Unfortunately, there are many more fatalities associated with texting and driving than people care to admit. The statistics credited to texting and driving are staggering. According to the website dmv.org, under the texting and driving tab, 26% of all car crashes in 2014 involve cell phone use. Also, about 9 people are killed every day because of distracted driving. This statistic matches directly when compared to an article called The Very Real Dangers of Texting While Driving, written by Michael Taggart on April 17, 2017. In this article, Michael states, in fact, in recent years, it's estimated that roughly 2,700 teens were killed in drunk driving accidents, a needless and horrendous statistic. However, what is more frightening is that over 3,000 teenagers and young drivers die each year in car crashes caused by split attention due to texting while driving. That boils down to roughly 8 people killed each day that involved distracted driving. So you may be asking yourself right now, how do I stop this epidemic, or how do I do my part in stopping this epidemic that is occurring not just in the United States but throughout the world? As I said before, these deaths are completely avoidable. It is simply up to you to take responsibility of your driving habits and do whatever it takes to make sure that your cellular device does not distract you while you are driving. When you sit down in a vehicle, and you first need to realize the seriousness of the responsibility that you have in your control. For too many of us become comfortable with driving, myself included. We drive so much that we just become comfortable with the idea, and we don't. And as we become more comfortable, we become less cautious. That is the first mistake. The second thing you need to do to prevent yourself from becoming distracted while driving is to put your phone away. For some of us, that simply means they can just power it off completely and set it on the seat next to them, and they won't be distracted at all. For others of us who are trying to break the habit of texting and driving, we need to go and take more drastic measures. To do that, you need to whether it be turning it off